Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. This is a special little Let's Talk Gaming moment. It's actually been a while since I've done one of these kind of videos, as I don't really know what to really talk about or really what to share or just name personal game stuff or anything like that. I just don't know how I can give any good commentary in that department. But I've been thinking about that recent PlayStation Now new subscription service, and we recently understand from the Extra, the Premium, and the Essential that if you have the highest one, the Premium, that you get PS1, PS2, and PSP, as well as cloud stream of PS3 games. But it has recently been revealed that Siphon Filter, or at least the first one or the second one, depending on which ones, will have trophy support. And this really raising a flag for me, because that's also what we got for the PlayStation 2 games, where they have trophy support. And then it just made me think about more the fact that we actually have gotten recent physical copies of PlayStation 2 games. Now, these physical copies are not like HD remasters or HD remakes, but just straight up ports, where they just took the original game and just transferred it over through like emulation and just do a little fix-ups and updates and add little features and content, but still it's the original game. And it just made me realize that this is the same thing that could be done with the PlayStation 1 games, and possibly even PSP games. And I'm just curious if everyone's also been thinking about this as well, is there a chance that we could get physical copies of PlayStation 1 games on PS4 or PS5, or even PSP games, and how cool that would be to have newer print runs of these older classic games and not be altered in any way. They would just have the emulation support, so you would have what they've currently announced, the save state, as well as the rewind, as well as bigger resolution. And it sounds really well possible for terms of having physical new copies. And I'm just curious if anyone else has been thinking about this. And I mean, I know a lot of people talk about, do we need new physical copies? It's just a cash grab and all this other stuff. Now, I'm a big supporter of remasters and all that other stuff. I don't have anything against it. I don't know why anybody would have any problems with it. If you don't want the game, then just don't buy it. To me, I'd rather have as many copies be made possible. That way, physical preservation can be lasting. So anytime a newer physical copy can be made for newer consoles, that means that those copies can be preserved even better, because regardless of our PS1 or NES or GameCube or PS2 games, no matter how well you take care of your physical copies, those physical copies will degrade over time. So it's nice to have a new print run. So I'm really actually hoping that that would be something we may see. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to start doing a mass production versions of PS1 games or PSP games, but we could see something along the lines of like limited run games, Fan Gamer, Special Reserve Games, Red Art Games. All these other boutique game stores that make physical copies could end up making physical copies, as well as you could even see collections. Like, let's say, I've been hoping for like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, the original ones, to get another physical copy, or Capcom doing some kind of remaster work like Square Enix did with Final Fantasy 7 and recently Final Fantasy 8, and just little minor touch-ups, but not changing the original work. And like Chrono Cross got one too, but apparently that was a very bad port. But regardless, it would be nice to have newer physical copies of the original Resident Evils, and could we see like a collection be made in terms of for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5? To me, that would be a big collectible thing there, as well as, and give PlayStation a bigger leverage as well. Now, it isn't confirmed if all PS1 games or PSP games will have trophy support like this, but even if it's just 1 or 2 games, and since you can buy these games individually, I'm assuming that companies will be able to see that, like, say, Siphon Filter will end up being bought more just because people want to buy it for the trophy support. Now, I'm not a trophy hunter. I don't really care for trophies. But if it's because of trophies that we could end up getting new print runs because of these games, since, A, you can buy these games singled individually from the PlayStation Store, as well as they support trophies, as well as they have full functionality on the console. So I don't see why we couldn't get physical copies done in such a way, since we've gotten PS2 games. I know I'm kind of just going on a tangent now, but I was just something I've been thinking about, and I'm really kind of hoping we may see from this premium service. Now, I don't have no interest in PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus or any of that, but if it's through that service that we could end up getting new physical runs of these classic games, then I'm all for it, because that's just great. That means newer physical copies can be preserved and protected, as well as that my physical collecting can get bigger, as well as it makes the PS4 and PS5 collection just all that and more amazing, and as well as it gives a little leg up on the Nintendo Switch collecting, because those games will be only available on the PlayStation platform. I don't know, it was just a little thought. I mean, see what you guys thought, your opinions on it, and if you would like to see it happen or if you agree with it, and do you think it's just a pipe dream? I mean, could we see PSP games? I don't know if PSPs had trophy support, did it? I never played handheld, so I don't remember, I don't have any memory of it. If it did, that's just more reason that this could be a possibility. And it'd be great if it wasn't just limited run games doing physical copies. It'd be great if these companies just made up mass production copies of these limited, these smaller budget games. Because we saw it like in the Star Wars. Limited run games did like the Star Wars collections, and then later on that I guess the company realized that a lot of people were buying it, so they went ahead and just made their own physical copy of these PS2 games or older games. And they're just ports, they're not remasters or remakes or anything like that. So to me, yes, a company would be looking at this and be like, hey, free money. I mean, it's basically cheap money. All you do is go to port and bring it on a physical copy, and bam, there you go. To me, it's a win-win. If they think they're making cheap money, easy money, we're getting a new physical copies. I'd rather just take that in any way, because as much as I love remasters and them bringing it out at 4K and 60 frames per second, sometimes they do a little bit bad work. Sometimes they censor content they shouldn't be censoring. Sometimes it ends up more buggier than the original was, like Chrono Cross did for the Switch. So sometimes it's just port over the original game and don't mess with it. Just port it. I mean, you can add little features, they'll save states and rewinds and trophy support and so on, but just leave the original game alone. Put it on a new disc, let us preserve it and put it on our copies, and just let us appreciate having these older games have a new physical copy for help preservation of just the importance of video game history, as well as having physical copies that we can protect, preserve, as well as that makes it easier. What if games like Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 got a physical copy in such a way? What if Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got a new physical copy in such a way? I know that's dream. I'm just sitting there throwing it out there, because Dark Cloud could get a new physical copy, which I'm hoping we'll get one eventually of that. That'd be phenomenal to have a new physical copy of Dark Cloud, but it's in the realm. Beforehand, it was just a straight up wall. It was impossible. Now, with this premium service out, it is a possible. Can we push enough to get companies to notice that we were interested in buying newer physical copies of these games? I would like to try to get it out there as much as I can. That's why I think it's important that when this service comes out, if a lot of people are buying the standalone game, or they see the statistics of everyone just playing Siphon Filter just so they can get the trophy support, that might encourage other companies to include trophy support in their games. Now, we don't know if it's mandatory, but I'm just future-wise just providing it out there that if it's not mandatory, if we show that we want these trophy supports, it will make other companies like, okay, well, if you want trophy support, we can just throw that in there. Like, let's say Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 got trophy support, and then they can do another physical copy through limited runs or so on. I don't know. I don't know. That's pipe dreaming, but it seems like a possibility. And if there's any way I can make that happen or talk about it, because I haven't seen anybody mention this in a video yet. Even Collectors as well hasn't mentioned it, really. I just wanted to make a video, see what you guys thought. I hope you would be excited as I am, because I love the fact of having Jak 1 and 2 and 3 on my shelf, even though I'm not actually a fan of Jak 2 and 3, but I do love those games and having newer copies, as well as we got the Turok, and we got the Blood Rain's supposed to be getting a physical copy, the Star Wars games. If we can find some way to push this, I'm more than all for it. So leave your comments and thoughts below. And maybe it's just a pipe dream, but it's a dream I'm worth dreaming for, so we can have better copies and physical copies, as well as that since PS4 can work with PS5 games, or PS5 can work with Ps4 games, that would mean that if they came out there, we could play both PS4 and PS5. I don't know. That sounds like an amazing thing to me. So, like always, this is just a special little video. I was about to say leave links down in the description, but there is none of that. It hasn't been a while since I've done one of these. Tell me if you would like to see more of these. I don't really know what to talk about or anything like that. I just thought this was an interesting video and subject matter. So thank you all for watching, and I might make more of these. I don't know. I don't really know what to talk about. I'm really bad about these things. So like always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in my unboxing videos or any other future videos. Bye-bye!